Can you hear me, Daryl?
Yes, sir.
No echo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Phattstacular preview show. I got to figure out why still I have an echo, so let me work on that. Joining me in the broadcast booth is my buddy Daryl. Daryl, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing out there?
Now, Daryl doesn't know too much about bowling.
No, I just kind of wing it, my friend.
So, the day of practice is finally here. We're going to bring back some of the bowlers. They're still trying to figure out how to throw on this pattern. It's not easy.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Jason, this pattern is quite unique.
Well, thank you. It kind of fits the guy who made it. Quite unique.
Well, I'd say indifferent then. If you watch some of our participants, as they're trying to adjust to the pattern, they come back scratching their heads, and then the next ball they throw a great ball and try to throw that second ball again and come back scratching heads again. It's going to be quite interesting watching people adjust.
Yes, it is. So maybe we'll give a couple clues on what the pattern is shaped like a little bit. The bowlers have not seen the lane graph yet. That will not be released until tomorrow morning. So they're kind of bowling blind right now.
Well, that might be best. If they have too much to think about tonight,
That is true.
just show it to them tomorrow and
Yes.
let them have at it.
So, for those of you that may be watching, if you're thinking about coming down and bowling in the tournament tomorrow, there still is. That was a good shot by Nick. We'll get him back here in a little bit to talk. There's still some openings available. Contact me. Go to the event page, contact me, or if you're friends with me on Facebook, just contact me. The top prize, it's a guaranteed $1,500.
That's a good deal there for the
Yes.
participants.
If you're a youth, it will go into the SMART account. If you are a sanctioned adult, you could have the choice. You can either take it in cash or in SMART funds. The only thing you have to be is, whoops, that wasn't a good shot by Colby.
Just a bit outside.
That kind of looked like me when I had the front 11 at Cedar Lanes years ago. That's about where I put that in the gutter playing that exact same
It
line, by
never
the way.
had a chance.
No, that never had a chance. No. So that was now Nick was just over here and he threw a strike and he came over here and he didn't even come close to the head pin.
There again, making them think.
That is true. That was a good shot on lane 2. Now, I have been hearing that 1 and 2 are playing slightly differently than 3 through 6. 1 and 2 is hooking more. Now, normally you're going to tell me, well, yeah, that's normal because, you got to wait till the oil gets into the brush and stuff. But they oiled lane 1 3 times. So it should have the shot fairly good. And the oil should have got in the brush. They oiled lane 2 twice. And the rest of them, then they just oiled once. So...
And some of your participants of our age will tell you, like, the closer you get to the wall, the oil's different. They might pick up some of the humidity or the cold from the outside. I don't know how accurate that is, but it is a theory.
Oh, Isaac Erickson throwing it in the ditch. He's just back from his first semester of college. Bowling pretty good out there. We'll have to ask him if he bowls on patterns this difficult or, solid 8. So we are going to be live streaming for the entire tournament tomorrow. We'll come on the air right at about 1 o'clock. 5 games of qualifying, and then we'll go into round 2. How we do round 2 is yet to be determined based upon how many entries. Seems like my kid just put one in the gutter.
Approximately how many entries do you have so far, Jason?
I think I'm about halfway full.
You know, I think with being a first-time event that you put together here, you definitely got something to build on. And I think the turnout, yes, wish could be better, but maybe there's some out there listening tonight that will think about it tonight. Maybe they'll come tomorrow.
Yes. Now, there's 2 raffles here.
We can win stuff.
Yes. The one raffle, you do not need to be present to win. I've been selling these tickets for about 3 months now. The prizes on this raffle, these tickets are $5 a piece. You get 5 tickets for $20. The prizes for this raffle are a Storm Crux Prime, a Matchup, a Fever Pitch, a Game Breaker 3, a Futura, a Halo Vision, a Web Pearl, a Covert Tank. There's 2 3-ball roller bags from Vice with the shoe covers, and 5 $100 gift certificates to various pro shops around the area. Those pro shops are Kegler's Pro Shop up at Strike Zone up in Pottsville, Bowler X out in the Bethlehem area, Purett Pro Shop in Ephrata, Maze Bowling and Billiards at Burke's Lanes, and the pro shop right here at East Lincoln Lanes. So that's the first raffle. Those tickets, once again, are $5 a piece. You get 5 tickets for $20. Raffle number 2 will be during the tournament tomorrow. You have to be here to participate in that raffle. You don't have to be bowling, but you do have to be in the building. That raffle is 2 shirts from EFX Apparel. Thank you, Brian Krantz. He will be here on site tomorrow to figure out how you want to design your shirt after you win it, if you're the person lucky enough to win it, one of those shirts. And let's see here. Kegler's Pro Shop, TJ, he donated a Motive. Let me see what that ball is called. I'm not very good with names, never have been.
Well, we need to give a big shout out to all those that participated in your raffle and donated certain items. We couldn't do without them.
Absolutely not. The prize fund is what it is because of the generosity of everybody that's bought some tickets and the prizes that were donated for the second raffle and some of the donated prizes for the first raffle. Okay, so the second raffle, we have the 2 EFX jerseys donated by Brian Krantz at EFX Apparel. That's the apparel company where you could get the PA-FATS logo on your apparel for free, should you choose. All you got to do is ask, and hopefully, for those of you that, win the shirts tomorrow, you get the PA-FATS logo somewhere on your shirt. Jeff Smith, who's bowling in the house tournament up at the other end, just came down here. He's one of the people for the gift cards for his pro shop. TJ Trout at Kegler's Pro Shop up at Strike Zone up in Pottsville has donated a DV8 Verge. Ryan Wyatt, who was recently with Motive, I don't think he's with Motive anymore, but he donated a Forge. And our friend with the PJBT Rotogrip, Rick Mitchell, he donated a Storm Intense Fire and a Tropical. So there's going to be 4 bowling balls and 2 shirts for the second raffle tomorrow. I'll figure out by the time tomorrow comes around how I want to do that raffle. For those of you listening, if you're coming out, if you would like to donate something, just show up and you will have my deepest appreciation and gratitude. And
yes, and maybe they, if they're of age, they could bowl with us too.
Yes, absolutely. Now, if you are thinking about bowling tomorrow, if you are a girl, very important, the top 2 girls get free entries into the next day's PJBT Girls Only event right here at East Lincoln Lanes.
So they'll be automatically qualified for that event.
Yes. Yes, you have your entry paid for by me.
That is very nice of you.
Yes, you are not eligible.
I am not. Is it because of the gender gap or the age gap?
Let's say a little bit of both.
Okay, we can do that.
Yes. Also, if you have EFX apparel with the PA Fats logo already on it, and I know a lot of you do, wear it tomorrow. Because you will be entered into a tournament within a tournament for free. Paid for by yours truly. For people who are only wearing the PA Fats logo. Yes, Nick, I know you have a shirt with the PA Fats logo on it. You'll be wearing it.
I am quite sure I have not seen your logo in public yet.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
all
know if
over the
that's
place.
just how it happened, but I hear they're out there.
They are out there. They are out there. Interesting story why I decided to come up with a logo. I'll have to tell you that off camera.
I can already imagine.
Have you seen the awards yet for this?
No, sir. I retract that. I did see the first place award on
Yes.
Facebook earlier today.
Yes.
Yes, it did.
Look, that looks pretty nice.
That way, I believe, was from a Terry Hill Trophy, if I'm correct.
Terry Trophy in the Kenhurst area, right by Alvernia College in near Reading. Gave me a very good deal on 4 plaques. They're very, very nice looking.
They do fine work over there.
Yes. They've been around for forever.
Longer than you and I.
Yeah, and that's saying something.
Yeah. You know, it's quite interesting watching some of the different techniques our young bowlers have here. Some of them have the traditional, and this years ago, if anyone would have went up there and threw a ball two-handed, they would have looked like we were crazy. But it works quite well.
Yes, it does. So let's get Vander back here. I'm gonna bump you off for a little bit.
Oh, that's fine.
Vander. Nick. All right, joining me now, can you hear me all right,
I can hear you.
is our good friend Vander,
Hello.
who is finishing his first year bowling on the PBA. You, don't shake your head, say yes.
Yes.
The people out there can't see you shaking your head.
Oh, the camera's over there. Okay.
So, let me ask you this question. What's the pattern like out there?
Oh, yeah. Very flat. There's no swinging required. You need to be up the boards, or keep it inside. If you get it outside, it floats too much. You'll see a little bit of a wiggle. It seems like speed control is very necessary for this pattern, and also axis rotation as well, which is a little more advanced, but that stuff is very key for this pattern to keep your angles tight, keep your speed low enough so you see the ball grab, and then make sure rotation's okay so you can control it in the back end.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, how would you say this compares to a PBA pattern? See, there's a reason why I wanted you
Yeah.
to come on first, and you knew I was going to ask
I
you
knew you were,
that
yeah.
question.
Compared to some of the other events I've bowled, it is similar with the sense of you got to keep your angles tight, you got to stay straight. But the thing that's a little different about this is I threw 5 shots and it transitioned already, which is something I don't usually see right away at tour events. It usually takes about a game or so to see the transition. But once you see that transition, that's when you start making moves and you stay ahead of it. This seems like it's going to differ from every shot. We'll see how it goes, but I think jumping pairs and keeping everything tight is going to be key. But I mean, just like on tour, if you're not throwing the ball the right way, you're not going to score.
So, I'm going to write everybody that I come back to. I'm going to ask them the same question. I want to see who's the closest. So tomorrow qualifying is 5 games.
Uh-huh.
What's the leader? At. Not who's the leader. What's
At.
the leader?
That's a good question. 5 games.
You've been bowling on this for about 45 minutes now.
I say +7.
+7. Okay. By the way, how much would you say you've adjusted so far? Now, I know you're jumping around lanes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
I've changed speed multiple times. I'm trying to see if it's better to throw it slower or throw it a little bit firmer. But while I'm doing that, I'm also changing rotation as well, and also angles throughout the lane. So almost every shot, I'm just trying something different. But if I could get a good look, I think I'm going to stay a little bit firm and a little more axis rotation.
All right. All right. We'll let you get back to practice. This is easy stuff. All right, so now we got a reluctant person who's been on here with me before.
Yes.
State your name, Chloe
Skurzinski.
Skurzinski.
Yes.
All right, so last weekend on the Super Singles Tournament at Colony Park, you finished second on the Chameleon pattern,
Yes.
PBA. How does this compare?
Just a lot more over under, really touchy, kind of. You can really play any part of the lane, but it's a lot touchy. I haven't been able to get left yet, but it's obviously still pretty fresh. So I see a lot of the guys here are throwing urethane up the outside. So
Okay.
you'll probably see a lot of that tomorrow.
At least to start.
Yeah. At least to start, or when they get stupid and then no one knows what to do. So all the
Yes.
guys take out urethane.
That's a little hint, by the way, for those of you that may be coming to Baltimore that are listening now. More difficult than the college patterns you bowl on.
Yeah. Yes.
You should just see the
definitely.
facial expressions you just gave.
Definitely more difficult than college.
All right. All right, so I know you don't want to be here right now. You'd
No,
rather be
it's
out there practicing. So I'm going to ask you the question that I'm going to ask everybody. So qualifying is 5 games tomorrow. Take a guess what the leader's going to be for 5.
I'll probably be around where Nick's at. I would say like +3.
+3.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Chloe, go practice.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming on for a couple of minutes. All right, I got Daryl back with me now.
Well, my friend, it didn't help. I went up and talked to some of our bowlers here and get some advice. And I got to thinking, well, when I was their age, I wouldn't take advice from somebody my age. So at my age now, why would I take advice from these youngsters? Knowing I should, because as you stated earlier in the show, I know very little about bowling. Just grip it and rip it.
Pretty much.
But these, it's nice seeing the participants how they're adjusting to the conditions already.
Yes. By the way, Daryl did shoot his first 300 last season.
Yes, sir.
So you do have a 300. What was your series that night, though?
300.
Come on. What was your series?
I didn't hit 6. I threw the 300, and I backed it up with a 126. But a well-earned 126.
That's okay.
But I got the ring, so.
In other words, you didn't handle the transition very well.
No, not at all. But Openly, I will admit, I'm a very stubborn individual.
That's true.
And as you know from bowling in the past, I throw the ball exceptionally hard. I finally learned to slow the ball down and let the ball do what it paid it to do.
Okay. Can you hear me right now? Now you can.
No,
You can't hear me right now. Seriously, you can't hear me right now.
not from here, no.
Really? Interesting. Now can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear.
I'm still trying to fix this.
Almost
echo
like you're.
I have.
I hear you so well. It's almost like you're sitting right next to me.
Oh, do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Pick them up. Set them on the table, and then move over to that chair.
I'm being evicted.
It's not that you smell. It's I gotta try to get us a little bit separated on the mics here. Still gotta figure out why I have an echo. Normally I would shut the system down and restart, but we're not gonna do that.
Well, maybe you hear an echo because you like hearing yourself talk.
No, I don't. I do not.
Somewhere I think somebody out there found some humor in that.
Alrighty. Still got an echo. Oh, I see why. Now my echo is gone.
Yes, it is.
All right.
This is your first time at the live feed thing?
You would think it. You know what? I tell you what. There's so many different contraptions on this program that we use Wirecast, by the way. There's just so many different contraptions on this thing. It's amazing. Every little thing that it could be that causes anything. It could be a matter of 16 different things that cause something.
Yeah, it's a great system when it works, but one wrong click, it's like trying to adjust two boards out there.
Yes. 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 So, like, there's just this interesting. There's this little symbol right here in the corner there that was lit. Now that's supposed to be so you could listen to on headphones, but it's interesting that it was on, and I heard myself, but you couldn't hear yourself. That's the interesting thing.
That is interesting.
Yes. So I noticed it was lit, and now it's not lit.
You unlit it.
I unlit it. So let's see, how many do we have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got 11. I was hoping to get about 15 here to show up. We'll see if we can get a couple more. Parker Lobach and Chloe O'Donnell were supposed to show up.
Well, it's early yet.
Yes, they are from the Allentown area, so. Well, that was interesting. A little pittage slidage. So I'll ask you the same question that I asked the first two people that were here. What do you, for qualifying's 5 games tomorrow? What do you think the lead's going to be for 5?
Ooh. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
And they're bowling 3 games tomorrow?
5.
Oh, 5 games
5.
tomorrow.
It's 5 games of qualifying. Then what I was going to do for round 2, assuming I had a full field, the top 16 we're going to move on. It's 1 and 4. 1 and 4 get paid, no matter how many people are here. So I was going to take the top 16, and I was going to split them up into 4 brackets of 4 people. So 1, 8, 9, 16, 2, 7, 10, 15, 3, 6, 11, 14, 5, 4, 5, something in 12. Right? 12 and 13. 4, 5, 12, and 13. No. It's, 4, 5, 12, and 13, I believe. Yes. And the first 4 people were going to get a bye in the first match. So you would have the 3 other people that's in that bracket bowl a game, low man out. And then the top 4 people come into their bracket, so there's still 3 people in the bracket. They bowl again, low man out. So that leaves 2 people in each bracket. They bowl again, low man out. So that leaves the winner of each bracket, so there'll be 4 people left at that point. They all come together to form one bracket. They bowl a game, low man out. Bowl a game, low man out. Bowl a game, champ.
What kind of number did the other 2 participants, I believe you asked, do they think they're going to have up there?
+7 and +3 I got. By the way, the message board is live and operational. If someone would like to chime in with your guess as well as to what you guys think the leaders are going to be tomorrow. We will be live streaming from the other end of the house, usually here at East Lincoln. We usually have the finals somewhere around the lanes 13 through lane 16, so we'll be up there tomorrow.
Do you anticipate to have the tournament held at this venue next year, or are you going to move it around?
Nope.
For those that might be listening, could you give any history to the East Lincoln here?
Nope.
Well, I see you've done your homework.
Yes, yes. All I know is for people that have been listening to us, this is our 3rd or 4th year that we've been live streaming. They will hear me say this all the time. This is my favorite little bowling center. So.
It has a unique feel to it.
Yes, it does.
I mean, you can just tell the history's here.
Yes.
And for those of you that might be coming down tonight, if you're not familiar with East Lincoln Lanes, we are located next to the ice cream shop.
on 462. If you're coming west on Route 30, you would get off at the, I believe it's the Wrightsville exit, which is the first exit after the river. If you're coming east, you would get off at the Hellam exit and jump on 462. If you're coming east, you would make a left on 462, and you're going to go about 3 miles or so, and we're on the left. If you get off at the Wrightsville exit, you're going to make a right on 462, go down 1.5 miles, and we're on the right. Extremely easy to miss, as
Yes.
Daryl will tell you.
Easy to miss twice, actually.
Ooh, look at that. Someone was playing a little bit of a loft shot.
Yes,
Interesting.
it worked rather well.
Interesting that we're
I
only
think somebody's trying to skip half your pattern.
we're only in the completing hour 1 of practice and somebody's lofting. That may not be good.
If you can't get around the pattern, go over it.
Now, as stated earlier, I'm told 1 and 2 are hooking a little bit more. By the way, right now 1 and 2 is supposed to be our breakdown pair tomorrow if we were to have a full field. I know lane 18 though is down tonight. They're in there working on it as we speak. I can see them down there trying to fix it. So hopefully that'll be up and running tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like the staff, it looks like they're making progress over there.
Yes. By the way, for those of you that have never been here, the food here is very good. You definitely have to have the pizza while you're here. It's made in one of those old-time pizza ovens from when, like, you and I were a kid, Daryl. in the
Really?
bowling centers. Yes, it's very
I
good.
didn't think they had them anymore.
Everything in this place is on the older
Vintage.
side. Yes, vintage is a great way to say it.
It makes individuals like you and I feel at home. Right?
It
You know?
sure does. Sure does. So once again, we still have some openings available if you would like to bowl tomorrow. You could probably just walk in if you want to pay in advance to guarantee your spot. $90 gets you in, $1,500 guaranteed for first.
And we'll be glad to have you.
Yes, we will. What's this wee stuff? You didn't even want to come on here.
Perks.
So let's see here. Let's get somebody else back here.
Yeah, let's get.
We'll get Ryan Graham back here. Ryan.
Hey, Ryan, come on back here.
Yeah, give me Daryl. I'll take a bottle of water. All right, Ryan. We're now 1 hour into practice. So what do you think?
Well, to start, there was a lot of no balls moving at all. There was no friction whatsoever. And an hour in, we have how many bowlers here? We have 10?
11, yeah.
11, okay. We've all kind of burned a spot around the gutter, and every lane but 3 has created a hook spot. So you gotta ball down a little bit. I think it's gonna be challenging. Tomorrow spares are gonna be at a premium.
Absolutely.
That's the kind of tournaments that I like.
Yep. So you said we burned a hook spot in the lane. Where is the hook spot at about?
Right now, anywhere right of 5. If you throw it there on 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, you gotta make sure you're getting it going straight. And on 3, you gotta be right a little bit more. You gotta be more on like 1, 2.
Okay. So you've bowled some PBA regionals and you've been very successful.
Yes.
How does this pattern compare difficulty-wise to what you see on those patterns?
Difficulty-wise, I think the PBA patterns are definitely flatter. I've never had a pattern like this occur where it's this much volume of oil in the front part of the lane, where you got to use a really big ball with a lot of surface to get your ball to actually maybe hook a couple boards down lane. I have bowled on Badger before, which is the longest PBA pattern, which is 52 feet, and that actually you can still create some ball motion without using a lot of surface. So it'll be fun to see how the lanes transition when you have more bowlers across lanes and moving back and forth.
Any guess to what you think the distance of the pattern is?
I want to say between 44 to 45 foot, but then again, there could be a lot of reverse oil and it could be like 38.
Oh, you wait to see the. Now you have not seen the pattern. Nobody has seen the pattern.
No.
Interesting what you just said. I'm going to write that down that you said that. So let's see. Ryan Graham said 44 to 45 feet or 38 with a lot of reverse.
Because I have bowled on a pattern once where it was like 37 foot, but there was so much reverse that it almost played like 45 foot.
Did you watch the oil machine when it was oiling the lane?
Yes,
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
It went down the lane like normal, and it came back, and it was going. I'm like, is it ever going to stop? And finally, about 25 to 30 feet from the foul line to the about the arrows, right around the arrows, it stopped. So that gave me the first impression that there was a lot of reverse. But other than that, I think scores are going to be low tomorrow.
Yes, which leads me to the last question I'm going to ask that I'm asking everybody. What do you think the leader's going to be after 5 games of qualifying?
After 5 games of qualifying, I think the leader's going to be plus 12 tomorrow. I
Plus
think
12.
someone's going to shoot a big game 5, and be the only one plus.
Okay. Everybody's right around the same thing right now. All right, I'll let you get back to practice. Thanks for
Yep.
stopping in for a few minutes.
Yep.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, Daryl's back. I would say that Ryan Graham knows his stuff pretty good. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about, although he may not know much when it comes to thinking pattern distances and forward and reverse.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of our young bowlers here, and they're wondering what they got themselves into. It's definitely not a firehouse shot, you know.
Or Berksley.
Or
Yes.
though it'd be nice to see some of our younger bowlers go to a firehouse with old wooden lanes, see how they could adjust.
You know, I know you used to live in Wilmersdorf where I live.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I actually saw a picture recently of what the inside of that place looks like.
Vintage.
It actually looks pretty nice.
Yeah, and I understand recently they had resurfaced the lanes.
Okay.
And, you know, years ago, especially in the Berks County area, it seemed all the firehouses had bowling lanes. They were very popular. And unfortunately, we're losing some of that history in some of these places.
Yes, we are. Absolutely. In fact, I saw a picture of it only because the Conrad Weiser High School bowling team went to practice there one day. And
Okay.
they posted it on Facebook.
Yeah, it's they have 6 lanes. You know, it's a small place, but bowled many games there.
Yes, I know you bowled in the league there. Yes. It reminded me of, you probably were never in the place of the bowling center that used to be up in Hamburg. It was known as Hoffman Lanes when it closed. It had a few names back in its day. That was a 6-lane bowling center. In fact, at one time, my father thought about buying that place from me, believe it or not.
I so believe there's might be a place in Hamburg yet, in a firehouse. It's in the basement.
Yes, they have 2 lanes. And they have leagues there.
Yes.
Yes, 2 lanes, they have leagues. You actually, like, it's a 16 league, and they have it over 3 nights. So you bowl a different night of the week. Something like that. It works. Our PJBT friend Josh either bowls in it or used to bowl in it. He could explain it a lot better than I can.
That could get rather confusing,
It can.
especially if you're a sub and you bowl every other week.
Yes.
Now it's not only every other week; it's every other day.
Yeah, I'm sure if somebody is listening, they know they will certainly correct me on the message board, which again is live and operational. If you wish to chime in, let me know what you think is going to be leading after Game 5 tomorrow of the first annual Phattstacular Scratch Tournament. A little breaking news, maybe. There will be a first annual Phattstacular handicap tournament as well. looking for a date here with our friends at East Lincoln that we can run it. I'm hopefully looking at somewhere in the springtime. Middle to late, middle spring, let's say.
For those that are listening, could you explain to them how you envisioned this event and how it came about?
Well, how I developed my name, I guess we have to start with that. You're going to know this, but a lot of because you're as old as dust like me.
Actually, I got 2 years on
Yeah.
dust.
But I know you're going to know this, being the kind of guy you are. Back in the 60s and 70s, probably even the 50s too, there was a pool player named Minnesota Fats.
Yes, sir.
Yes, there was. Yes.
He lost to Willie Moscone.
Yeah, he did. He did. That was back when ESPN was a fledgling network. They used to put pool on quite often, actually. Believe it or not.
Actually, they did.
Yes.
But they were on a very small market at the time.
Yes. Yes. So I used to watch it. I was never good at pool, by the way. I'm like the worst pool player in the world. I'm bad at it.
And that's why you took up bowling.
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
Sure. But that name, I always remembered that name. I'm the king of stupid, useless trivia. I just remember and know all that stuff. And believe me, the people that know me know that of that. They know me for two things. I could do trivia, and I could basically equate any word with a song. And if people are listening that know me, they're shaking their head right now going, yeah, that's
Kind of like I am.
that some bitch knows that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, being the kind of person that I am, insert word there. Before I die, I want to make a name for myself in something.
And you are very comfortable with your fatness.
Yes, I am. Although I'm trying to lose it. I have lost some of it. And once my kid goes off to Penn State, Maine, we'll be hitting the gym a lot more. So I want to lose even more. But we'll keep the name.
And I remember quite some time ago, you went on a kick, losing some weight, doing laps around the yard.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Then
Yeah.
I actually lost 50 pounds eating nothing but, are you ready for this? Pizza and chocolate.
Pizza and chocolate.
Every day. I was going to write a book, The Pizza and Chocolate Diet. Every day for 3 months, I ate pizza and chocolate and lost about 45 pounds. Amazing.
A friend of mine just lost, I think he's had 108 pounds, drinking nothing but Slim Fast.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, his poor stomach lining. But anyway, so I wanted to come up with a name, and I'm from Pennsylvania, so that's how the PA comes. I'm fat, so PA Fats is how I just came up with it. So I blinged it up. I'm not F-A-T-S, I'm P-H-A-T-T-S. Some people said I should put a Z at the end, but then I figured I'd be too much like Sheets. So I went
can
with
see
yes. Yes. So now, how this tournament came to be, many of you know that are listening know that I help out on the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. Thank you, Matthew Himmelreich, for allowing me to help. And do this every week and make a fool out of myself like I do every week. And I've been basically asking him for 3 or 4 years, like, name a tournament after me. Just because I'm a jerk like that.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
in touch with yourself.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So, at first he's like, yeah, all right. And he never did it. And I would ask him, and yeah, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. So, a couple of years back, we stole an idea from Chuck Pisano's tournament out in New Jersey to do a 2 a.m. tournament. A PJBT stop that the tournament starts at 2 a.m. It's our last regular season stop of the year. It's at Leisure, right down the road. And it begins at 2 a.m. And we literally get done about 10 or 11 in the morning. So I said, that's the tournament I want named after me. Since I stole the idea. So I came up with the idea because I stole it. And he still wouldn't name
Well,
it.
how do you come up with an idea that you stole?
Well, he put it on the schedule, so he put my idea on the schedule, but I stole the idea from somebody else.
So it's not your idea.
Right, but it was my idea for the PJBT to run that tournament.
Understandable.
Yes. So, and he still wouldn't name a tournament after me. So finally, I said, you know what? I'm doing one on my own. Now, people don't know everything about me. I used to bowl. I used to bowl all the time. I haven't thrown a bowling ball in about 12 years, thanks be to God. I love being around it. I've been a coach for 30 years now. I celebrated my 30th anniversary of being a coach in July of this year.
That was
Dang.
rather nice of your son to walk by us with a plate of food.
Yeah.
Didn't even
What's up,
stop
man?
to say hello.
No. No, I think I'm going to have you interview him, and I'm going to go steal some of it. Actually, I think what's going to happen here. So anyway, our helper, one of the co-tournament directors, Josh, who we call Skip Moyer, he thought it was a great idea to name a tournament the Phattstacular, and I kind of came up with the name too, and he bugged Matt to run it and name a tournament, and Matt just didn't do it. So finally, I said, you know what, I'm going to do it on my own. And this will be the first tournament that I'm the lead tournament director on since 1995 was the last time I did this. Up at Cedar Lanes. Now torn down Cedar Lanes. The place where lives in infamy because that's where I met Daniel's mother.
We're going to let that one alone.
I left you speechless with
We're going to,
that
well, no,
comment.
we're just going to, I guess, in hindsight, they were both torn down.
Absolutely. Yes.
I got to say, though, just to touch on your, you made a comment about coaching and teaching and so forth. Watching the bowler Daniel, your son, became. I remember him being about, 2.5, 3 feet shorter, getting really angry when you were telling him where to stand, where to move, how to throw, and
Yep.
he's turned into a terrific bowler. And a fine young man also.
Oh, let's not go that far. When he's off the lanes, he's fine.
Well, he can't hear me, so I can.
He's pretty good. He's
He's a good kid.
He has his parents' stubbornness, let's say.
That can be a good trait to carry, though.
Yeah, and he has his.
If you know
parents-
how to use it.
Yeah, I had to learn how to use it too. Yes, he has his parents' ability to say whatever comes to his mind.
That could be hard to control.
Yeah, yeah. He's gotten better at it. He's probably better at it at the age of 20 than I was at 20. So.
I actually kind of believe one of the last times you actually bowled in competition, we might have been bowling together yet.
Yes, we were. BK 215. Yes, this is a scratch tournament tomorrow. Yes, we probably were the last time. Well, let's see. Were you still bowling me and Allie? We made the last night I ever bowled? We made the roll off for the second half. We tied in the second half. Hold on a second. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. We tied for the second half championship, and so we had to have a one-game roll-off that night, and all I wanted to do was lose. That's the last night I bowled. That's how I knew I needed to stop bowling, because I didn't want to bowl next week in a row. And we ended up losing, and I was the only one on the team that shot average that game. I do remember that. I think I was carrying somewhere around a 218 average back then. Down from my highest average ever for a league was 222 back in 1994 or 95. Back when 222 was pretty good. Now 222 is there.
We had a good summer team.
We did. You bowled with us in the wintertime too on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And you came on as a sub.
Yes, I did. It was you and I and Art Hughes, I believe.
Yep.
Ryan Palm and Marty.
Yep. Yep, That's who it was. Yep, we needed a fifth. You came on, and I asked you to stay, and you weren't sure you wanted to stay because you didn't think you were good enough. And I said, I don't care how good you are. It's a handicap league.
And I believe that was probably the second mistake I made.
All right, let's get somebody else back here.
Yeah.
Tony. All right, we got Tony Lutz back here now.
Hello.
So, you've been practicing now, let's see, about an hour and 15 minutes. What are you seeing out there?
It's different every five shots. It plays completely different.
Excellent. Compare it to now, you finished fourth last Sunday in the Super Singles tournament, bowling on a PBA pattern, Chameleon. Compare it. Just as hard, harder, not quite as hard?
Oh, it's definitely harder. Chameleon, I had about one board of miss room on this. If I miss, it's a 6 count. Like either way, you know. This pattern, there's just absolutely no miss room. There's not even really a line you can play for a long period of time. After about 5 frames, it just stops working.
So it almost acts like a flat pattern.
Yeah. Does that mean it's flat?
Well, it's if you look at the flyer, it does say it's less than 2-1, and you have not seen the pattern.
Yeah.
It definitely is less than 2-1. Now, back in May, you were here and you bowled on 2 prototypes of this pattern.
Mm-hmm.
As you know by now, it's not the same.
Not the same at all, no.
Harder, easier?
Harder, for sure.
For sure. And that was the idea because, let's face it, prototype number 1 you guys destroyed pretty easily.
That you could either play really tight inside or play the gutter on that, and it just never really broke down. Or if it did broke down, it kind of broke down in our favor.
Yes.
Just more miss room.
Yes.
That pattern wasn't that tough, no.
No. I can tell you right now that pattern was 38 feet long, and that pattern had 26 mils, if I remember correctly. So your basic, your average millage. And then you went to prototype number 2, and it was harder.
It hooked a lot less. Yeah.
Yes.
You couldn't play inside. You could still play the gutter. In my opinion, the gutter was easier on that pattern, but that was the only line there really was, playing up the gutter.
Mm-hmm. Now, the shape of the pattern was the same. It was still 38 feet. There was more volume on it, so you didn't know that either, but now I'm telling you.
Makes sense.
So now, what do you think the shape of this pattern is?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. It just plays differently every 5 shots. I couldn't even tell you.
If you know how to read a lane graph, right?
Sorta.
Yeah,
Not super well, but I can figure it out.
You go home and Google it tonight. Take 10 minutes and go on YouTube and learn to read a lane graph so you know what you're looking at tomorrow. As you know what they say about forward and reverse oil, right? Forward creates the shape, reverse creates the hold, basically. So what do you think is out there then?
Well, there's probably more volume than the prototype patterns. But yeah, I just couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I just don't even I haven't really figured it out yet.
I don't think a lot of people are gonna.
I keep trying the gutter on this pattern, and if I don't get it out far right enough, it just doesn't even hook. But if I get it out on the one board, it just peels instantly and rolls out.
Well,
so
basically because there's no oil
Yeah.
on the one board. So.
Yeah, makes sense. But
And I'll tell you right now, there's oil on the 2 board.
yeah, I can tell.
So the last question that I'm asking everybody, I'm going to write your name down too. So 5 games of qualifying. What do you think leader is going to be after 5?
Ooh, there's probably going to be one person plus. I'm going to say probably about plus 40.
Plus 40. Wow. Everybody guessed plus so far. You're the highest, and basically everybody guessed one person's going to be plus.
I feel like there would just be one person who does really well on it. Averages about 208
All
a
right.
game. I could see it happening.
Is that going to be Tony Lutz?
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
You can leave your stuff here by the pool table.
Yeah, I just want to see. Thank you so much, Jason.
You're done?
Oh, wait, I'm going home. I have to go back to Dutch tonight, clean up the arcade, and then be back, and then be in there. I got to trust as an elf for tomorrow morning. I sit here or here?
There's good.
All right.
There's good. Colby Bennett's joining us now.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing? By the way, got a lot of positive feedback from when you were on the live stream with me a couple weeks ago.
Cool.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to have you again.
Sounds good.
So what do you think's going on out there? You've been here, an hour and 25 minutes
Yeah.
now or so, about halfway through.
They're difficult. They're very hard. It seems like you throw 2 or 3 shots, they look pretty good, and you throw it exact same the next shot, and it's not there. It's like they're just difficult. It's hard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What, notice you're pretty much, well, it seems like everyone's still trying to play kind of up the ditch, kind of.
Yeah, that's where you're really seeing the most movement. I haven't really tried getting in because it seems to be that if you get in, it's a little more tricky. It seems to play the gutter, you keep it a little more simple and
Okay.
kind of control the pocket.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How does this compare to the PBA pattern you bowled on last Sunday, in your opinion?
Well, I bowled awful last week.
Yeah, you did, actually.
So-
Un-Colby-like.
But they're definitely a lot trickier. Like I bowled on my fair share of PBA patterns, and this is definitely harder than all of them.
Good.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I wanted to hear.
it's very difficult.
You got to earn what's in here,
Oh yeah,
and the $1,500.
yeah,
Yeah. Whoever wins that's going to earn it for sure.
yeah, yes,
Yes.
100%.
Any idea what you think the shape is, and the length, and the millage, and
I'm gonna say length. I'm 41, 42 feet. I'm not even gonna guess on the other because I have absolutely no clue.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be interesting this inning. So, what do you think the leader is going to be after 5?
I think that someone's gonna come in here and they're gonna whack them. I'm gonna say 50 to 75 over.
Okay.
But I don't think anybody else is gonna be plus though.
So you
Like,
think there's going
only
to be
the
one
leader is gonna be plus.
So far, everybody has said one person's going to be plus.
yeah, that's what I think.
Is that going to be Colby Bennett?
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Absolutely. All right, let's get back to practice. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah. So, 2 more people come in, 2 more people tell me one person's going to be plus.
So that's a plus.
Now watch the entire field be plus. Actually,
Hey.
the question I should be asking them is, is not what you think the leader's going to be. It's going to be how many gutter balls you think you're going to throw tomorrow.
Well, we've seen a few tonight so far.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're trying to play right down 2, inevitably you're going to put something in the gutter. All you got to do is open your shoulders just a little, and
Yeah.
that ball's going to go in the gutter.
Yeah. There's no. There's going to be no give out there.
That's for sure. So are you going to make it down tomorrow?
It is in the game plan, yes,
All
sir.
right. Okay, very good.
Now that I know how to go.
Yeah.
And of course, I can see the place in the daylight.
Yes, yes, it should be a lot easier to see. In the daylight, it's a very dark blue building. Like not like a royal blue, just like like not a. Let me see here. Not a Penn State blue.
That's a good thing.
Yes. Hey. It's hard to say what kind of blue it actually is, but it's not dark. Like it's not like a navy blue. Let's put it that way. You'll see it. It's got yellow trim on it too. You can't miss the yellow
You
trim.
can't miss the yellow.
Yes.
And it says East Lincoln right on the front of the building.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I was speaking with one of our bowlers up there. He came all the way from Ocean City, Maryland.
What's he thinking? He's bowling right now. On
He
lane
is
one.
rather confused. But I see he just threw 2 strikes earlier. It looks like he just got another one there. So he's figuring it out. But as we stated, 1 and 2 are different than the rest.
Yes. Yeah. Although you know what, it might be not a bad idea to throw some games on 1 and 2 if you think the pattern's going to be breaking down.
Very
So
true.
it might give you an idea. Or if you think the pattern is loaded with reverse oil, it's not going to be breaking down all that much. Only I know right now.
And you're not telling.
I am not telling. Actually,
That is locked away with a KFC recipe.
One other person does know. Sam, my co-tournament director, when she made the graph when she uploaded it into their oil machine. So, not to say she looked at it, but she at least printed it out. Let's put it that way. And it's sitting in my back pocket right now, staying nice and protected.
Is that with the KFC recipe in your back pocket?
Yes, the original. Yes, and like I know where Hoffa's buried too.
Interesting.
Yes. Yes.
I seen you. I can't recall the movie right now.
The Irishman.
The Irishman.
Yes.
I seen you watch that.
That was a damn good movie. But I like movies like that, so. That was a good shot by my kid.
So, who actually did it?
Well, if you follow that movie, it's the dude from northeastern Pennsylvania that did it. I'm not telling.
You're not telling.
I'm not telling. Might have been me.
Meh.
At the ripe old age of whatever I was when he disappeared.
You would have been rather young.
Yes. Yes. The Bufalino. If you grew up where I grew up with Italian descent like I had, you've definitely heard of that family.
And ironically, there was a lot of interviews going on certain TV channels with some of the family members of those that might know.
Yeah, they know all right. Yep. All right, so we got maybe about another 20, 25 minutes on live stream here. Then we'll wrap it up for the night. We will be back on at 1 o'clock tomorrow for the start of the tournament.
I'll tell you what, Jason, we're going to bring one of our young members up here. This is Eric from Ocean City, Maryland.
Eric, have a seat. How you doing, Eric?
Pretty good.
So, first off, how was the drive?
Busy.
Busy, yes. It was very busy. What do you think of the pattern?
It's difficult at first, but once you find the line with it, you should be fine to play it.
Really? You're like the only person so far that's told me that. Very good. So, you think you found something out there?
I think I did.
Okay. All right. Any idea what you think of the length of the pattern might be?
Not quite sure. thinking about 40-something plus feet.
Okay. Any idea of the shape?
Not really.
Okay. What were you playing? Like, so didn't get here quite at the start, but you've been here maybe about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 25 minutes now. Have you had to adjust a lot?
A little bit. I've had to change balls multiple times tonight, trying to figure out what plays, what doesn't play. And I've found something I've not been using in a long time that's playing right for me.
Yeah. What, if I could ask?
A Deviate Diva.
A diva, the original or the light?
The XL.
The XO. Okay. Neither. I tell you what, of the Deviate, in my opinion, the Diva was the best line of Deviates.
They really were.
Yes. Yes, that is an excellent line. And it's one of the, in my opinion, few bowling balls that even after a couple hundred games still retains its hitting power pretty good.
It's hitting pretty good tonight for me.
Good. Well, I'm glad you brought it then.
Yeah.
Did you bring everything you own?
All 9 of them,
Smart man. Smart man. That's what you got to do.
including the one I had drilled only about an hour plus ago.
And what was that?
Purple Hammer.
Purple. Oh. I have a feeling you won't be throwing that tomorrow.
It's my spare ball now.
Ah. Well, okay. You'll be throwing it at spares. That's fine. Yeah, kind of have a feeling you will not. A little hint. Won't be throwing that at the strike as your strike ball tomorrow.
Nope.
So what do you average down at Ocean Lanes?
I average anywhere from 185 on the Saturday morning leagues that I bowl in, and that all the way up to about 202, 203 on Monday nights.
Do you get to bowl on any sport patterns at all?
Occasionally.
Do they have a junior bowlers tour down in your area, like we do up here? We have the Pennsylvania
not.
Junior Bowlers Tour. That's a shame. We got to get somebody down in your area to start.
We
running one.
have someone running a travel league, per se, across the bridge, but no one down in across the bridge where I'm at.
How long did it take you to get here? About not. Let's take stop and go Friday traffic out of the.
About 4 hours, 4+ hours.
Okay. And I know you have family in the area. You know, when your mom contacted me about the tournament, that I believe you or she saw that Danny Wiseman shared it. So thank you, Danny Wiseman, for sharing this for me. You got me at least one entry. I think a couple more are coming. All right, so I'm going to ask you the same question that I've asked everybody else. What do you think the leader's going to be for 5 games tomorrow?
I'm not too honestly sure.
Take a guess. So far, everybody that's guessed has told me one person will be plus.
I'm not sure any of the names, honestly.
Well, I'm not looking for names. I'm just looking for a score. Like no one's told me like
for the
this
5
person's
games?
going to be plus. They're just telling me one person's going to be plus.
Over 1,000 at least.
So you think someone will be plus as well?
Yeah.
All right. Is that going to be you?
If all goes well.
All right. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck tomorrow. We will see you.
Yes, you will.
Eric, yeah, that was your name, Eric.
Yep.
I'm bad with names. I'm god awful with names. Thank you, Eric, for stopping by. See you tomorrow, Mr. Graham. Right in the afternoon. All right, joining me now would be my non-genetically proven child.
Hello.
How you doing? By the way, your dinner looked really good. It smelled really good as it
It
passed
tasted
by.
really good.
So, let me ask this. Do you think we have to figure out what's going on in lane 3? It keeps dropping pins. Do you think it's definitely an advantage to have come in practice tonight?
Maybe, maybe not. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah.
If it plays like lane 3, the leader will be minus 100. If it plays like any of the other lanes, you're not getting your wish. I think the other lanes aren't very hard.
Okay.
I mean, they're very touchy lane to lane. Like lane 4 is not bad. Like lane 1's pretty close to lane 4, but then lane 2 isn't even close.
Okay. Well, that would actually make sense. You know, we're bowling on wood, so they're going to change quicker than synthetic typically would. And if you have people throwing different lines, you know, that makes sense to me. So I could actually see tomorrow where, you know, certain pairs are going to be higher scoring than other pairs. Absolutely, I could see that.
I think, personally, something wasn't oiled right on lane 3.
Okay.
Just how completely different it's playing.
Okay.
Like, it's not even remotely similar.
Let me ask, how is it playing?
If you throw the ball, it goes straight.
Got you.
If I were to throw, like, I could throw the matchup on lane 4, like, straight up.
Would you go tell them at the counter?
On lane 4, I could throw the matchup, like, straight up 2-3, and it'll walk to the pocket. But if I did that on lane 3, I might get to the 3-pin. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
The only way you're getting your ball to hook on that lane is it hooks at the dots and then goes straight.
Gotcha.
I don't understand that lane.
Got ya. Interesting. So, just in case anybody's listening and or thinks just, as my kid, you have no clue what this pattern is. I did not show you this pattern. Go ahead and tell. Any idea what you think the length is, or the shape is, or the volume is?
The volume's got to be over 28, 29, 30. Probably in that range. The length, if I'm taking lane 3 out of play, lane 3 it's like 55 feet. But
Okay.
Lanes 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, 39, 40, 41.
Okay. Have
And
you
your
seen-
shape,
Go ahead.
there's probably minimal reverse oil. As even for me, I have no hold. I don't think anybody does.
So the lanes you've gone through, I mean, we're an hour and 45 minutes in now, so you've started to see a decent amount of transition.
No, not really. I've only moved like three boards.
Okay.
Four
But you've had a
boards.
ball down.
No, I've tried a few different things. Best thing I found was something controllable. Personally, I'm throwing a Paradox with a 2-inch pin on it. Unlike everybody else, I think I'm the only one that didn't. I didn't put surface on my stuff. I don't think it needs it.
Okay.
Because I think then you were taking carry away. And since I don't think there's much reverse, personally. There could be. I'm also playing straight, so reverse doesn't make a huge difference. When you have a reactive, that's 4. I made somebody a bet. If they can get 4 on lane 3, I'll give them $1. Because I'm pretty sure that's impossible. What do you think?
What do I think?
What do you
I think? What?
What do you think's how do you think it's playing? Is this how you wanted it to play?
I haven't been watching it all too much because I've been doing this. I plan on shutting the stream down in a little bit. I'm going to watch a little more close in the last hour. I don't want to give too much away right now. But my idea when I built this pattern, since I built it with no help from anybody, basically, was my own idea, is I wanted the player to have to showcase his or her versatility. Now, that might give a hint on a couple things.
Personally,
Go ahead.
I don't think you're going to need to be too versatile.
Okay.
I mean, I want to stay on the gutter. Because every time I've tried to move in, I have no area. I mean, I'm sure if I moved like way in and played like 4th arrow, I might have some area.
Now, let's also remember when I built this pattern, I was assuming 8 bowlers per pair as well. Now, I don't know how different it will be if we only have 5 bowlers per pair.
I think this is about as far as it's going to get, is what we have now.
Okay. All right. So for sure, tomorrow after the tournament, you and I will have a discussion, because by then you will know my thinking. You will have seen the lane graph, and we'll certainly discuss it on the way home about maybe what I could have or should have done differently then to achieve what I want to achieve for next time.
I mean, I heard you talking about that you wanted the scores to be the leader around even. That's what I heard you talking about. So, hence, it should look something similar to a college pattern, if not harder. I would assume it's under 2-1 if you want it to be that hard.
You know it's on the flyer.
I haven't read your flyer.
Oh, it's on the flyer.
Is
less
it?
than 2-1, yes.
I'd even consider it being under 1.5-1 if you want the scores to be that low. Because
Well, I will, little hint, it's not quite 1.5. It's not quite that low. Close. Close, but not quite.
I just want to know how much oil you put on the gutter.
Got ya. Well, you'll find out tomorrow.
If I had to take a wild guess, maybe 2 units, maybe 3, maybe. That'd be too much, though, I think.
Okay. Well, you'll certainly find out tomorrow. So, the question I've been asking everybody, what do you think the leader is going to be for 5?
If it plays like anything but 3, so all the other lanes,
Whatever you think.
plus 100.
Plus 100. So far, you're top here. No one guessed higher than that. Most people are within 15 pins of even. Or, the other question that Daryl and I were talking about, how many gutters do you think you're going to throw tomorrow?
Me, personally,
Well, the average bowler who's going to be playing down the gutter.
after practice,
Yes.
3.
Okay.
I'll say I'll throw probably at least 1. Thing is, though, when you get it to that one board, it hangs on you. Probably the wood,
Yeah.
because I'm sure it's probably, what's the right word here?
Crown.
No. Convex?
Okay.
Convex? Concave? Convex. I think it's
Ooh.
convex.
College term.
That's college words right there.
Okay. Oh, another question I've been asking everybody who bowled last week on the PBA pattern. Is this easier or is it harder?
This is way harder.
Way harder. Okay.
I didn't think that played that hard. I bowled pretty bad and was still around even.
Okay. All right. All right, let's go. Get back to practice. Thank you, young man. So we got Daryl back. James chimed in.
How's James doing tonight?
Well, he didn't tell me how he's doing, but he has a guess on how the pattern is here. He says it looks long. Typically, long starts at about 43, 44 feet. That's what starts long. He says it needs a slow speed, so I'm thinking high volume. I think the pattern has a section of reverse oil. He says to try a 4,000 grit symmetrical. Interesting, if he thinks there's high volume, but yet he's saying a 4,000 grit symmetrical. I understand the symmetrical part. I understand why he thinks it's a high volume watching how the pattern is playing. I'm a little confused on the 4,000. I would think you'd probably want 2,000 or even 1,000. Well, depending upon how you turn the ball, of course.
Yeah, or maybe even a 500.
For somebody like you, definitely. Someone like you might want to take your equipment out to the parking lot and roll it around the parking lot.
Well,
for a while.
I've been known to do that actually. Actually, my Motive Chronic, I hit that with 500 grit.
Okay. Now, Daryl has a very unique style. If you don't mind me saying, you've had medical issues for a long
Yes.
time now, which have forced you. It's amazing how your style. You got to be like as strong as an ox. Is all I'm gonna say. Watching your bowling style.
I don't throw the ball near as hard as I used to.
Yeah, you used to throw the ball damn
I
hard.
could before a lot of my heart issues came into effect. I mean, I can still constantly throw at 18 mile an hour, but I can't throw as hard as I did. So I don't know how hard I was throwing.
Well, you are a senior citizen.
Yeah. And I had the paperwork almost to back it up.
You remember, 2 years older than Dust.
Yeah.
As we were saying
Yeah.
earlier.
But as far as my technique, if you will, I'll hold the ball one hand down by my right leg, and I just crank it up and let it rip.
Yes.
But I've been doing that before the heart issues. I've been doing that before Dust came along.
Before Dust came along.
Yeah.
Oh, Vander may have found something.
And I've been throwing the ball like that for so long now, it would feel unnatural for me to hold the ball like everybody else does.
Would you be able to in your condition?
Yes.
Okay.
But it just, with like muscle memory, if you will, it would just feel too weird to me, I would
Yes.
believe.
Tyler. We're going to get some of the other people on. before
Yes,
we,
hand it off to Tyler, somebody who knows what they're talking about.
All right. Mr. Miller,
Yeah,
how are you?
I'm doing good.
Thanks for joining us for a few minutes.
Yeah, no problem.
Penn State shirt. Good man. Good man. Are you in high school or college?
I'm in high school.
High school? What grade are you in?
Junior.
Junior? Are you looking at going to Penn State?
Maybe.
Maybe? Maine or one of the satellite campuses?
Maybe start at Berks and then go to Maine.
Well, as you know, I'm sure you know, Berks has a bowling team. I'm looking here at 2 bowlers that were on it. One of them being him and the other being him. But I'm sure you probably knew that already. So, what do you think of what you're bowling on?
It's definitely not what I'm used to, and that's kind of expected that. So pretty much for me, this is just a learning thing.
Okay. Where do you bowl out of?
I bowl at Dutch,
Dutch. What do you average there?
like a 220.
Okay. Yeah. This certainly isn't a house shot for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess you're not gonna average 220 tomorrow. If you do average 220 tomorrow, I will be majorly impressed. I will say that to you right now. So, what's your typical line that you'll play at Dutch? Because, like, now to me, Dutch plays harder than a typical bowling center plays. To me, it plays like a Brunswick center. I don't know if you ever bowled up at Haja Rose Bowl up in Allentown. To me, they're very similar. It's just, I don't know, hard. You know, back in the day, you probably wouldn't know this, but Daryl might. Back in the day, Dutch used to use pins that were 2 to 3 ounces heavier than normal pins. So you couldn't carry there very well. You would leave usually 5 or 6 corner pins more a night than you would at other bowling centers. Now we're going to go back to the early 90s on that. So, long time ago. I'm sure they've gotten smarter now. You know how people are. They want to score, they want to average 270 or else they don't want to bowl. But yeah, I always thought Dutch played a little bit harder than most places did. So bravo for you being a junior and averaging 220. What high school do you go to?
I go to Warwick.
Warwick. So you're definitely on the bowling team then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. How's the team looking this year?
We're doing a lot better than what I thought
Okay.
because we did lose like Tony, Isaac, and Ashley,
Yes.
but a lot of people are stepping up into their position, really
Good.
showing.
Good. Very good. So, what have you been trying to play out there? Like what line? What have you been putting surface on anything or?
I haven't really tried putting surface on anything yet, but I kind of playing more inside, playing a little bit more tighter than I normally do and less rounded. because I usually like play really rounded on the lane. I'm playing more straighter and inside.
Okay, so you're basically the first person that said that to me now. Most of the people have been throwing kind of outside of 5 and trying to get it back to the gutter that way. Have you ever tried throwing like that before, like way out there? If you haven't tried that, now's really not the time to try that. But let me just tell you right now, you're going to want to learn to do that for college bowling for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely for sure. And it's a lot easier than what it's made out to be. You could learn to bowl out there honestly in about 3 minutes. You just have to practice doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Like me or my kid could tell you exactly how he learned to play out there from the great Tom Hankey. I'm sure you've heard of that name before. And it's the most like opposite thing that you would think of, and it works consistently, and it's amazing. And you just practice it for a few weeks and you have it down in no time. It's amazing. So, been asking everybody, what do you think the leader's going to be for 5 tomorrow?
I don't know. I mean, I've been looking at Nick, and Nick does have a line with his balls. Like, he has an area where he's playing, and he knows what he's doing.
You hear that? He thinks He thinks you know what you're doing. Tyler thinks you know what you're doing. All right, so what do you think the leader's going to be? What score?
This is a tough one. I might have to go with Isaac at like maybe a plus, maybe like a plus 30.
Plus 30 tomorrow. We're not going to hold you to the Isaac.
Yeah.
We're just going to hold you to the score. All right, Tyler, thanks. We'll let you get back to practice. Thank you very much.
No problem.
What's his name?
Nick Vander.
Nick.
Dan, you want to come on? Trying to get everybody on. All right, so now we're here with Dan Kenny. Thank you for coming out and
Of course.
practicing tonight. You think it's helped?
What's that?
You think the practice has helped?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, are you glad you showed up instead of just coming in without knowing what you're doing tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I would have had no idea what I was doing tomorrow if I didn't show up right now.
Do you have an idea of what you're doing now?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw it like just back my hand out of it and throw it up 5.
Okay. That seems to
Just
be
keep
the
it in front
general
of me.
That seems to be the definite general consensus
Yeah.
right now. All right. Where do you bowl out of?
Where do I bowl? I bowl at the big event in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming all the way from New Jersey tonight.
Of course.
I hope you're not driving back tonight.
Oh no, we got a hotel.
Okay. So, what do you average out that way?
Around 220, 225-ish.
Nice. You think you're going to average 220, 225 tomorrow?
No way.
No.
I'll be happy with 195 tomorrow.
You know what? I think a lot of people will be happy with 195 tomorrow, for sure. Definitely. So, what equipment did you try? What equipment did you try?
I tried a different range of stuff. But I think mainly I'm gonna be going between a web tour and a purple hammer.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Now that surprised me. You're the first person who's hinted at possibly throwing urethane tomorrow. Interesting.
I was just piping it straight up too, and
Uh-huh.
and just really keeping my hand up the back of it,
Uh-huh.
and it seemed like the most consistent reaction that I had.
Interesting. Because obviously you haven't seen the pattern yet.
Yeah.
You will tomorrow when you walk in. I would have never in my life thought somebody would throw urethane tomorrow. Never.
I mean, I only tried it because I saw other people throwing urethane. I
How
mean,
many? Any idea how many mills you think might be out there?
a lot.
A lot. That's a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
So obviously, the more millage, you wouldn't think you'd be throwing urethane. You normally equate urethane with a low millage pattern.
Yeah.
Interesting. It'll be very. I will be definitely watching you, especially as much as I can with running a tournament. If you are throwing urethane tomorrow, I actually want to. I'm gonna. Are you done practicing now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I wish you were throwing a couple more. I would have liked to have seen your ball reaction with.
You want me to throw a couple more?
No. I don't want you to burn out for tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a long, possibly long day tomorrow. If depending upon how I'm going to do round 2, I mean, you could wind up bowling a decent amount of games tomorrow. Definitely above 10. So no. I don't want you to burn yourself out. So what do you think the leader is going to be tomorrow for 5 after qualifying?
Maybe -10.
Hey, you're the first person that said minus. And honestly, -10 is about what I'm going for. I created this pattern to basically have the leader be somewhere around even. We'll see if I get my wish. Lord knows I know not what I'm doing when it comes to creating patterns, but how I wanted to build it. So that comes through. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank
for
you.
coming. Good luck tomorrow.
Of course.
Where did Shane disappear to?
He's right there.
Oh, he's right there. Shane. All right, so we got Shane on now.
Hello.
Thank you for coming to this event. You contacted me kind of late.
Yeah, I was debating between this and the JBT. Then this pays a lot more money, and it's
That
on
it
a
definitely
nice,
does.
really difficult pattern.
For basically just double the entry fee, it probably pays about 6 to 7 times more. Yeah.
There you pay like 50 for 200.
Yeah, and mine's 90 for 1,500. Yeah, and it's going to be scores are going to be a little bit lower here than they are at the JBT tomorrow.
Definitely, just a little.
just like Daryl, you like the bottom qualifying for JBT tomorrow might be about plus 180. Let's put it that way. Where here top might be plus 2. Potentially. What do you think about what's out there?
They're really hard out there. 3 was playing really tight.
Yeah, my kids said that. Like 3 was different than anything
was
else.
really tight. I just had to slow the ball down. I think I probably put some surface on a couple balls, and I'll be good.
Okay.
Spares are definitely going to be the key this week.
Absolutely.
This weekend, yeah.
And I haven't run. Let's put it this way: the last time I ran a tournament as the head tournament director, none of you were alive yet. That's how long it's been. But that's how I like my tournaments. Spares matter in my tournaments. I don't like tournaments where you could come out and average 250 for 5. I hate tournaments like that.
This is the type of pattern that Greg Tack will have out at his tournaments.
Yes, absolutely. Any idea what you think might be out there?
I honestly have
or
no
like
idea.
any idea like how far the length might be?
I'm saying it's in the high 40s.
High
Probably
40s.
Mid to high 40s.
Okay.
Because everyone who's striking right now is trying to play as straight up as possible.
Did you find that the lanes broke down at all?
I really just stayed in the same spot. Like towards the end, I sped the ball up a little just to see, and it worked. So it might have broken down a little, but a couple of the lanes played really tight.
I mean, I'm watching that. Like I just saw Isaac throw a ball, and I watched Tony. They're definitely left of where they started for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll be honest, a little hint for those of you that may not have heard this earlier, so you get to listen to the hint, is I designed this pattern to show off a player's versatility.
That's exactly what this is going to do.
At least in my mind, this shows off a person's versatility.
And this is only like a third of the people that are going to be here tomorrow.
Yes, it would be interesting if I were able to fill the field, which unfortunately doesn't look like it's going to happen. But boy, the amount of money I could have given out if I could have filled that field tomorrow, especially with selling 1,000 raffle tickets as well. By the way, did you buy any raffle tickets?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy. I'll probably buy the $20 set.
Okay, actually, there's 2 different raffles going on tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw
so
that.
bring
That was-
extra money. Yeah, the amount of money that I could have actually added to the prize fund would have been unbelievable. Well, hopefully this will be an annual thing, so hopefully it'll grow.
It'll definitely grow.
Unlike the people down there in their Christmas attire that just kissed each other, that was a little scary. Okay then. So you have pretty much no idea what the shape of the pattern is, or
Not really,
want to
honestly.
take a guess?
It's just really hard. That's all I know right now.
It's just really hard.
Really difficult.
Really hard. That's what I like to hear. I've been asking everybody what they think the leader is going to be for 5.
The
What
leader?
score? Yeah.
Ooh. I'll say a couple people go plus, maybe. I'll say the leaders maybe 40, 50 up. I'll say
Okay.
40.
All right. So plus 40. You're like third high. Only one person. Your friend Dan. He's the only one that went minus so far for the leader.
Daniel went up there with plus 100.
Yeah. My kid thinks this is going to be easy. Yeah. If let's put it, if the leader's plus 100, it's not going to be him. Let's put it that way. I think what he's thinking. I have a guess who he thinks with that score who would be leading this event.
Is his name Anthony Nye?
His name would be Anthony Nyer. Yes. It's going to be interesting to watch how Anthony plays this pattern tomorrow. I was kind of hoping. Because I had gotten early indications that they were going to be here, but his mom keeps live streaming from Vegas, so I guess they're not going to be here. As Tom Hankey, I thought was going to be here. Now it would have been. He definitely would have played right up the ditch on this pattern, without a doubt. So it would have been interesting to see how he would have scored on this. I mean, so considering she was just live streaming up until a couple hours ago, I'm going to assume she will not be here. In fact, Anthony messaged me. What did Anthony have to say? Let's see here. How much are side pots? All right, we'll answer that later. What's Ryan? Okay, thank you, Ryan. Okay. All right, well, get a good night's sleep tonight.
I will. I got a hotel right down the road.
Good. Thankfully, this isn't a 9 a.m. event.
Oh, yeah. 1 p.m. is really helpful.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you for coming from
Thank you
New
for
Jersey. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, Daryl, that just leaves one more person I got to interview, and then we're going to call it a night.
I'll tell you, I was watching some of our bowlers.
Actually, I'm going to interview 2 more people.
I was watching Vic. Vic
Yeah.
was over here on lane 4 a few minutes ago. Threw 3 perfect strikes. And he missed his mark by maybe about half a board. And he had a 9 count. And he covered that, and then he threw 2 more strikes. He then transitioned to lane 5, throw the same shot. Not even close to the same results.
Yeah. Well, I know you were standing behind me when I had my kid on. I said, they could be very different lane to lane.
Yeah,
depending upon how people are playing, what surface they're using.
Yeah, what ball they're using, and
yeah.
But
so depending upon how many people I get, I might only use 5 pairs tomorrow. So everybody has to bowl on the same pairs. We'll have to see how many people I end up getting. If I only get about 30, I'm definitely going to do that. I'll put 6 people on a pair, and we'll use only 5 pairs. Scott, stay here. I'm going to put Scott on quick.
yeah, Scott done a fine job of getting us back running out here
Yes.
again.
yes, he did. So we got Scott Schnur Jr., who is one of the owners of this establishment. Thank you for allowing us to have the Phattstacular here, by the way.
Yeah.
So what were you thinking as you were oiling because I know, I was standing there next to you, and you had definitely some comments how, the speed of the machine, where it was laying and stuff. What do you think is going on out there, pattern-wise?
I'm not exactly sure, really. It looks tough in the beginning, and then they're moving really far left really quickly. Like the first couple minutes, they all said the lanes were the balls were going very straight. Nothing was reacting, and then generally they kind of migrated left. I guess that's what you wanted. I don't know.
I did.
Yeah.
I did build this pattern, hopefully for versatility. Now, as you know, forward oil creates the shape, reverse creates the hold. So, and basically where the machine was setting up to lay the reverse oil by watching it. So, hint, hint. I think I might get my wish on versatility.
Yeah.
Especially the more bowlers that are here that are going to break the lane down, then I'll really get my versatility.
Yeah.
I mean, if it were up to me, you would start at one spot and be,
at another spot.
35 boards in the other direction by the time the tournament's over.
This kind of reminds me of like a regional.
Yes,
you basically have to jump from like spot to like a different zone.
Yes, moving zones,
yeah.
not just moving boards. Absolutely.
And it's like one shot you could be throwing it at like the first arrow, and then the next two shots you could be at the seventh arrow. You don't even know what you'd be.
Are you going to attempt to get out here and throw some at some point?
I might.
I like to see how you. I know when we were here with the prototypes, you got on them afterwards, and you scored pretty good.
I don't know.
I remember. I do remember. I'm going to tell you right now, they're different from the prototypes that we had. I mean, same general shape, but there's definitely differences out there than there was. All right. Well, once again, thank you for allowing us to be here for your tournament all weekend with the PJBT here on Sunday as well.
It's going to be a busy weekend.
Yes, it is. Our typical Sunday before Christmas girls-only tournament here. All right, Scott. Thanks for taking a couple minutes.
Thank you.
And thank you for fixing lane 3.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get 18 working yet?
No.
No, 18's not working yet. Isaac, you're my last one. There's a reason why I saved you to the end. Isaac Erickson saved the best for last.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Yes. Well, I brought you on primarily because you were the first person that I know that put a Phats logo on your shirt. Which you're obviously going to be wearing tomorrow.
Absolutely.
To get that tournament within a tournament for free.
Right.
So, what in the world do you think is going on out here?
Well, we're bowling on something pretty flat. We broke them down pretty good to the right so far. A lot of people try to play the gutter, myself included. Mostly dull stuff, obviously, not a lot of shiny stuff. Tomorrow it'll just depend how everyone decides to start, how to play them from the start.
Yeah, as I've been saying with other people, I think pair to pair can be very tricky.
It will. It already is right now.
Yes.
So and we're all sharing ideas and stuff, so tomorrow it's going to be even worse, I think.
Definitely. So, how's the college bowling circuit? You finished now your first semester. Where are you going again?
Mount Mercy University.
And you're studying that horrible field of what?
Accounting.
Oh, God, he wants to be me, Daryl. Oh, God, he wants to be an accountant and run bowling tournaments. Oh, God.
I don't know if that's what I signed up for, but...
Yes, for those of you that don't know, the fat guy is an accountant. Oh, Lord, they put up with me. I can't believe it. Can't believe I'm not in jail for, like, tax fraud or something or whatever.
Not yet.
Not yet. So, how's the difference between high school bowling, PJBT bowling, and college bowling? Go ahead. Let us know.
Well, from college to high school, I would say the overall environment isn't that different. Just higher intensity. But like the Baker games and team games, they all feel the same. Obviously, higher caliber, we ball on pattern instead of just house all the time like we used to in PIAA.
Yes.
The patterns, almost always, we end up in front of the ball return. But I mean, they give a wide variety of pattern, just like the PJBT does. Yeah, I would say the bowling PJBT is all different patterns and formats prepared me to be versatile, to be able to have some kind of success
Absolutely. That's. I've always said that's the best thing about PJBT is it prepares you for so much more. You'll always know. I put a post come regional time for PIAA. You know how many PJBTs ears end up making it to states. Inevitably, it's always 50% or more. And there's only 12 spots for girls and 12 spots for boys coming out of the East. And inevitably, we get 6, 8, 10. I think last year for the boys, we had 10 or 11 out of the 12 for PJBT bowling. So, yeah, it definitely prepares you. But in college, though, have you had to learn to throw the ball differently yet? Like, are you coming up the back of the ball more? Or?
I wouldn't say how to throw it differently, but more versatile, different tricks and stuff like that. I can adjust ball speeds easier now. Better at different hand positions. I can actually get in front of the ball return somewhat effectively now, which before I was never able to because I never had to. So.
Yeah, I had the chance to watch you a little bit last week down at Colony Park, and you could definitely see a difference in your game. You actually looked a lot more confident to me. With playing the line you were playing. I don't necessarily recall, at least on PJBT, having to play out there that often. I could be wrong. I don't get to watch as much as I'd like to. But you definitely, you seem to be hitting it with consistency. So, and I'm going to assume that has a lot to do with bowling in college.
Yeah, I mean, the confidence thing I wouldn't say is college related. That's just personal and how hard I work on my mental game. But I mean, bowling at the caliber like that all the time, that obviously helps the confidence.
So, last question that I've been asking everybody: what do you think the leader is going to be for 5 tomorrow?
Leader for 5, I'm gonna go with plus 60.
Plus 60.
I think it's gonna be a left-hander.
Oh, then I wonder who you're thinking. So my next question then is no. My next question is that leader going to be Isaac Erickson? Considering Isaac Erickson is a righty, I'm going to say that's a no.
According to that, no. I suppose.
No. All right, Isaac. We will see you tomorrow.
Looking forward to it.
Yes. Anyway, any guess on what you think the pattern length is?
Oh boy.
Actually, I do have another question for you then.
I'll go with 42. That's
okay.
My guess.
All right. Now, you were here the day that I laid the prototypes down. A big difference from what you remember? Now, it was all the way back in May that we did this.
No, I mean, more volume, I would say, in the middle, because your ball just skates in the middle here, and it did similar back in May, but it was to a lesser degree. And on both patterns, a twig hooked at least a little bit. So.
Got ya.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you get back to practice.
Sounds good.
Thanks
Thank you
again.
very much.
Hand the mic to Daryl. Well, it looks like the field is thinning out.
Yes, it is. I don't know if they're getting tired of bowling or tired of being confused. Because they're throwing some beautiful shots on various lanes, and they move to another lane, and it's like, what am I doing? Need to change balls. Need to change the line.
Yes.
So this complex pattern that's packed away with the secret recipe.
That it
is doing what it was intended to do.
Yes. To be released in the bowling center at roughly 11:30 tomorrow morning.
Security, but keep it under lock and key.
Absolutely. Yeah, right next to my tush in my back pocket. So, what do you think we're going to see tomorrow?
Well, first of all, we hope to have a good turnout.
Yes.
You know.
Well, you're here, so, you know.
Well, yeah, I just realized the paperwork you had me sign, the one-day contract you had me sign, I thought only was tonight, but I didn't see in the fine print the contract goes from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Actually, you didn't even read the fine print that says you have to pay me.
My Jacoby and Myers is looking at that right now.
Oh, wait a minute. Those are the people that cook me dinner.
I think we're going to have a good. First of all, we're going to looking forward to a good turnout. I think we'll see the bowlers adjust well.
Nick, he just rang a 10 pin and he shakes his head. Wait, what did you say? You think they're going to bowl well? Is that what you
I
said?
think they will adjust well.
Oh, adjust well.
I mean, obviously, you can tell that these are. They've been bowling for quite a long time, for as young as they are.
Yes. Yes, I mean, I will say I knew quite a bit of the people that were here practicing. There's only 2 or 3 that I didn't know. And they're PJBT regulars. And you know who's a regular on the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. You just know it
Yeah, I
after
only
a while.
became fairly new to watching their tournaments on YouTube recently. But they adjust well, and they don't wait.
Correct.
They make the adjustment now.
Yes.
Because they can always go back to where they were, but they don't wait to see if it's going to come in. They throw a bad shot, they adjust to the next shot.
Yes, and you know that's the difference a lot between winning and losing is the person that adjusts one frame sooner.
Yes.
That has the confidence and the knowledge.
One
to do
ball
it.
sooner.
Yeah.
One ball sooner.
Yeah.
Could be half a frame. You know, you can tell they were the ones we've seen here tonight practicing. They have been well coached.
Yes, they have. Absolutely. Let me see here. Keep talking as I'm setting something up here on the computer.
And what would you like me to talk about?
I don't know.
Well, another thing I did notice tonight that tonight's only practice. I mean, who needs practice, right? It's only practice.
We're talking about practice.
Practice.
Yes.
But if they tank a bad shot, they're not frustrated. Hopefully tomorrow that will carry on if they have a bad shot when it counts.
Yeah. We're definitely going to see.
I think we're going to see a few shots get away with, especially some of the bowlers who did not come tonight to participate in this practice round. They're going to be somewhat surprised with the pattern. And I think even the bowlers we have here tonight, they're going to have shots get away from them.
Oh, absolutely. At any time you lay out a pattern like this where it's as touchy as it is, you know, who was it that was back here? It was Tony, I believe, that said, you know, he had, you know, one board a miss from last week, and this week he doesn't even have that. So yeah, there's going to be errant shots for sure.
You know, and I think also speed is going to play a big role tomorrow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what do you think the leader is going to be? For
Overall?
5. Yes.
I believe I came up with -7.
-7.
Yes,
That's right.
sir.
Yes. Oh yeah, you wrote it down.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you did. You snuck that in there on me.
Well, I believe you were talking to Isaac.
Got ya.
You know, and I took care of the paper. That's what I took care of that when I just looked at my contract.
Got ya. Where's that?
And I believe we got to throw another shout out to the staff here. No, we had that small problem there in lane 3, and they jumped right on it, took care of it.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Very quickly. Let's see.
So for being this is your first annual tournament in your honor in your name, are you going to throw out a ceremony first Baltimore, like a first pitch? Or
No, I'm going to eat the ceremonial cheeseburger.
a ceremonial cheeseburger. You're going to pass on that fine pizza they make and have
Yes,
a cheeseburger.
yes, because their cheeseburgers are just as good as their pizza.
Or are they gluten free?
Oh, they're very juicy. Let's put it that
Very
way.
juicy. There you
Yes,
go.
yes. Yeah, I'd say cheeseburgers are gluten free if you don't get the bun.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
I think with your long sabbatical of bowling, it would be rather nice, for you to throw out a first ball.
No, nobody wants to see that, Daryl. Come on, nobody wants to see that.
I actually think those who will be watching tomorrow would like to see that and file that away for their use.
TVs, bloopers, and practical jokes. Here it comes. Because that's what would be happening.
Well, it could be engineering catastrophes.
Yes.
Because you did design and engineer this pattern.
I did. And you know what? If I threw out the first ball, then that lane could be very different than the others.
Well, that's why I would suggest using lanes 1 or 2,
Yes. Oh.
which are the breakdown lanes.
Got ya. All right. So let's start wrapping this up. So I could actually go eat something quick myself.
That would be wise.
And watch a little bit of that tournament up there. That's surprisingly qualifying is still going on at 9:30.
Yes, but a lot of them, they're only down to a few bowlers over there now.
Okay, so they must be on to they do 2 divisions as well. They do a scratch division and a handicap division. They actually get sometimes a decent turnout of youth bowlers that show up and sign the waiver. So they can take any winnings that they get, scholarships, just like in my tournament. Youth bowlers tomorrow will sign a waiver. They can take their winnings and scholarship. There goes Nick leaving a flat 10. That ball just went as it hit the pocket. Kind of like hee-haw.
I think he could be in the running tomorrow.
And he was gone.
He's been throwing some nice shots.
You know, I will honestly say, I think anybody that's here certainly has a chance to win. Don't be surprised if Chloe down there. When Chloe is on, she is phenomenal. She bowled a couple of years ago when the PBA Women's Tour was up in Harrisburg. Halfway through qualifying, she was in second.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
against
good
the
rolling.
professionals. Yeah, and that's when she was 17, 18 years old. When she's on, she's phenomenal. Colby Bennett, 2-time reigning state champion. Isaac Erickson, phenomenal. I mean, I'll even throw my kid in the mix. He's got 13, I believe, PJBT titles. A lot of them on.
One thing again about your son Daniel, I had the pleasure of watching him grow into the bowler he is. Training, coaching, really paid off for him.
Yeah.
Could you enlighten us? So who actually did coach your son?
Oh, that was me.
That was you.
That was me.
That was you.
He started bowling when he was about 4 on bumpers. I only had him on bumpers for 1 year. That was it. So I got him off bumpers like 2 years earlier than the usual. And, he was just this tiny little thing. And he used to take about a 7-step delivery. And he, at Burke's Lanes, we were sitting at the table at lane 41. I remember it like it was yesterday. He was 7 years old. Lane 41, and I told him, he told me that he wants to be a really good bowler when he grows up. And I said to him, I remember the exact words that I said. I said, I will teach you how to be a good bowler. I said, you will listen to every word that I say. And I said, and I promise you, you will be a phenomenal bowler by the time you hit 18.
And actually,
pretty much stayed on track.
You
Now, not to interrupt you, it wasn't just me per se. I mean, he's certainly gotten tips from a lot of professionals. That's one of the good things with helping the PJBT. I get around certain professionals. I see Parker Bone a lot. I see Danny Wiseman a lot. I see Doug Kent here and there from time to time. Anthony Pepe, Real Deal Bill O'Neill. So we get a chance to talk to these guys. We get a chance to pick their brains, certainly. And he took an interest. He knows what drillings of a bowling ball to do. He knows what pin up, pin down. He knows what, pin to pap. He knows what happens when you sand the ball to this, sand the ball to that, sand the ball to this. He could tell you about all the layouts. He used to watch videos over and I used to joke around, he could tell you what happened in the 8th frame of the semifinals of the 1987 Firestone Tournament of Champions.
So in some aspects, he has a memory like yours.
Memory like I used to have.
Or which could be good or bad.
Yes.
But, honestly, now we know each other, 12, 15 years. So
yep.
I actually had the pleasure of watching some of your teachings with Daniel. And sometimes when he got frustrated, because, when we're kids, we don't listen to Dad.
Yeah.
But it paid off very well for him.
Yeah. I will say it right now. For those of you that want to become good bowlers out there, one of the drills that we used to do, and I suggest you do this drill because it works. And he will say this is the drill that helped him the best. You take every ball that you have to practice. I don't care if you have 12. You take all 12 to practice. And you put them in whatever order you want to put them in, and you throw one ball per frame per game. You switch balls every frame. And that will teach you very quickly what your bowling equipment does. Obviously solids react differently than pearls. So you walk in on a fresh lane and you throw a solid ball, and then the next shot you come in, you throw a pearl ball, you're going to see a big difference. Come game 14, 15, 18 of practice, and that was, I'll say that's the one great thing about growing up in Berks County at Berks Lanes. You join a summer league, you get to open bowl for free all you want.
Yeah.
There's no limit. So we would practice 2, 3, 3.5, 4 hours. So, you're on game 15, 18, 20, and you're still doing that drill, and you're seeing now what happens when there's little oil left out there at your track to what a solid ball is doing. A solid ball is going to do nothing. It's going to roll out. It's going to hit like mush. So you learn, and you're constantly learning. Now, one of the things that I always try to get him to do that he would never do, and I suggest everybody do this, is especially people that bowl tournaments that go to house to house to house, you take notes. You take notes on how the shot reacted at the house, from lane to lane, what the shot was doing. Because the topography of every lane is different, so you got to take notes.
Yes, and not to interrupt you, but for those of us that bowl at Berks Lanes, some of the lanes came from the old Colonial.
Absolutely, yes, they did.
And them lanes are totally different, for whatever reason, than the other lanes that they have.
Yep. So yes, that's the best drill that I could ever tell you to do to become a better bowler. Do that. We used to call it run the gauntlet drill, basically. Different bowling ball every shot, every game, and you just recycle it and start all over again. And shoot spares. Too many times I see kids practicing, they leave, at 2-4-5, and they re-rack it. Because all they want to do is throw strike shots.
Yes, I see a lot of people do that on a 10-pin or left-handers for a 7-pin. They'll re-rack it.
Yep.
Years ago when I was growing up, they had a Saturday get-together for the kids in town in Womelsdorf, the fire company. And there's a gentleman that took care of it. His name was Jonesy. One thing he tried to tell us all, don't be afraid to miss. You'll learn a lot more from missing a pin than you're going to learn from making a pin.
Absolutely. Definitely. You watch your shot all the way through. You have to know what the difference is between why you left a weak 10 pin to why you left a solid 10 pin. And that's unfortunately a lot of things that the kids don't know today. Like I'll see them, you know, they'll be up on lane 5 and they'll leave a solid 10 pin. And then they'll go over to lane 6 and they'll leave a weak 10 pin. And I'll ask them, what's the difference? And they'll have no idea why. I'll ask them, because typically your adjustment between a solid 10 pin and a weak 10 pin is completely different as well. It's also different to where you are in the tournament. If you're bowling early in the block compared to later in the block, everything gets different. And this is all the stuff you have to learn if you want to be a good bowler. And it's all out there to learn. Like there's no secrets. Like, you know, no one keeps secrets. There's no secret to it. It's all out there. You just have to learn it. And you have to have the desire to learn.
Yes, and watch your competition. See what they're doing.
Yes. Yep. If you're at a tournament and you're not bowling good, look at someone who is bowling good and see where they're playing on the lane.
Absolutely.
See what kind of ball they're throwing. Are they throwing a solid? Are they throwing a pearl? Are they throwing a hybrid? Are they throwing urethane? Now that we're back into bowling with urethane anymore. I tell you what, that shocked me when Dan Kenny said he might be throwing urethane tomorrow. That for me, knowing the pattern and knowing the volume, hint, that's
sometimes we got to go back to where we started from.
Yeah, we do. All right. Well, we got about 19 minutes of practice, so we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you very much, Daryl. I know you didn't want to do this, and you did a fantastic job.
Well, I had a first time behind the mic. I had to make sure I watch what I say. Sometimes being brutally honest is not the thing to do.
Yes.
But thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. This was a lot of fun. So, again, for those of you that are thinking about coming out tomorrow, we start at 1. Check-in will begin somewhere between 11:45 and noon. $90. $1,500 is first place. It's guaranteed. If you are still in high school or a sanctioned youth, you have to take your prizes in scholarship, so you'll have to sign the waiver. If you are a sanctioned adult, you can take your prizes in scratch. Now, one thing, if you're going to be getting cash, you may not get the cash tomorrow here at the bowling center because a lot of people paid me via PayPal. But you will either get a check from me, or if you paid me via PayPal, expect to get a payment via PayPal back either tomorrow night or sometime on Sunday at the absolute latest. So just want to make that out there. All the brackets will be paid out that day for those that win cash. You will get that tomorrow. But like so, if you know, my kid, for example, since he's a sanctioned adult, if he were to win, he's not walking out of here with the $1,500. Sometime tomorrow night or the Sunday, he will get a PayPal for $1,500. Sunday at the latest. If you want a check, I have no problem writing you a check. I would prefer to do a PayPal, but I have no problem writing a check. So I just want to get that out of there. But the winner will get $1,500. It is guaranteed. For the girls, the top 2 girls get free entries. Hi, Chloe. How are you? You're a girl? Yeah, you're a girl. What? No, we got more than that now. Last I checked, I wouldn't say it's verbal commitments. Well, I definitely have 3. Definitely. I have verbal commitments from 1 or 2 more. 3 for sure. You, Liz Hunsinger, and somebody from New York. Hold on a second. She's bowling on Sunday, too. You'd probably know the name more than I would. Hold on a second. I got so many messages today about the tournament. Her last name is Yauker. She bowls what? I think, yeah, maybe. Yeah. I wouldn't know. What? Just New York. Somewhere in New York. Yeah. So, the top 2 girls get free entries into the Sunday PJBT tournament. It's only the Sunday. So if you win, if you're the top girl tomorrow and you can't make it Sunday, it gets forfeited. It's not going down to the third place finisher. You have to finish in the top 2. But I'm sure either girl that finishes in the top 2 will certainly bowl Sunday.
I would imagine so.
Yes.
And also, I'm not to interrupt you, also tomorrow we will have 2 raffles going.
Yes.
One raffle, you do not have to be here. There's bowling balls, bags, apparel. Then we will have a second raffle for those in-house. You must be in the house to participate or to win. Then again, there will be bowling balls, bags, and apparel for that.
I like this Wii stuff. Should I name you tournament director?
Assistant director.
He doesn't want to come on and commentate. Now it's me. I like it. Are you going to go around selling tickets tomorrow?
I have to look at my contract.
So yes, Daryl is correct. We will be having 2 raffles. For the raffle that you don't have to be here, if you want to buy tickets still, you can pay me via PayPal. They are $5 each. You get 5 tickets for $20. Let me go over the prizes one more time. Where's my big bag of tickets? Here they are.
You're sold out.
I'm like, where'd they go? I think I have about 200 to 250 left, depending upon what's getting turned into me tomorrow. I have to give a shout out to Lynn Kerr. Lynn Kerr, her son Tevin is bowling tomorrow. Now, Tevin takes notes in every tournament. I told him that a couple years ago, and by golly, that kid takes notes. Basically, almost every frame, he's taking notes. She sold 200 tickets for me.
200 tickets.
Yes. And one of the perks that I was doing is for those that sold tickets, you got a 50-cent discount for every ticket you sold. So Tevin's bowling for free tomorrow.
That was mighty nice of you.
Yeah, it is. We used to say it a little bit differently when I was younger.
Well,
we'll talk about that off camera.
Yeah.
So the prizes tomorrow are a Crux Prime, a matchup, Fever Pitch, Game Breaker 3, Futura, Halo Vision, Web Pearl, Covert Tank, 2 Vice 3-ball roller bags with the shoe compartment, and 5 $100 gift certificates. 2, one of them is to Kegler's Pro Shop at the Strike Zone in Pottsville. Bowler X, Pureit Pro Shop, Maze Bowling and Billiards at Berks Lanes. Pureit Pro Shop, by the way, is in Ephrata. Bowler X is up in the Bethlehem area. Definitely Pureit and Bowler X. You can buy stuff online, and I know the gift cards work online. And the Pro Shop here at East Lincoln is the 5th.
And I believe we will have an event for those wearing your apparel.
Absolutely.
Please indulge us in that.
Yes. Well, I have the PA Fats logo. If your EFX jersey has a PA Fats logo on it tomorrow, you will be entered for free into a second tournament. We're calling it a tournament within a tournament. Not putting a lot of money to it, but there's going to be...
So we're not paying college tuition with this?
Maybe from 1892 prices at colleges.
All right.
Maybe. Maybe. No, we're definitely not paying college tuition with that. But that's my money that I'm donating. I'm definitely not making any money running this tournament. In fact, I'm probably losing money running this tournament, but I don't really care. I like helping out the younger people, and I'm trying to reserve my spot up there when I die.
In all fairness, knowing you for some time now, you're not bashful. You will help anybody who needs
thank you.
help.
Thank you. I do, yes.
And you're very modest about it, and you don't need a pat on the back.
No, but I'll take one.
But you'll take one. You'll take one.
So if you have your PA Fats on your EFX jersey, wear it. Now, Brandon Updike, you wait to see Brandon Updike tomorrow. Not only does he...
I hear he looks like a billboard.
He does look
Not the
like
size of a billboard.
Yeah, maybe.
But he's just lit up. It just needs a place to plug in.
Yes. He not only, like, his shirt has PA Fats all over it. In every different direction. They're overlapping each other. Well, now he's got pants that look the exact same. My kid has PA fats on his, or Brandon has PA fats on his butt, and every place else on his pants. So yes, he's gonna look like a walking billboard for me tomorrow. Absolutely, absolutely. But you don't need to be a walking billboard. All you have to do is have the PA Fats logo on any place on your EFX apparel, and you will automatically be entered into that tournament within a tournament. Shane O'Mac says the pattern looks difficult. Spares will be key.
Shane says that.
Yeah, it looks.
Shane, you should be here practicing on it.
Actually, he was.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. I'm pretty sure it's Shane Matthews, but in case it's not, in case it actually is Shane O'Mac, he's probably getting ready to, for the Royal Rumble in January.
Right. Well, Shane, if you were here, I apologize. I don't know any bowlers here, so
yes.
But we're glad you were here.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up now. I've stayed on probably about 20 minutes longer than I had. Actually, 50 minutes longer than I had intended to, but that's okay. All right, Daryl, we will see you tomorrow. Thank you for everybody for spending a few hours of your Friday night with us. If you're not going to be watching us tomorrow, have a Merry Christmas. We will also be on the air Sunday for the finals of the girls. And don't forget, PJBT-wise, we have our usual day after Christmas tournament at Haja Rose Bowl. Handicap starts at 10. Scratch starts somewhere around 2, probably be closer to 2:30. That is a major, so that's going to pay $300 to win for both divisions. All right, for Daryl.
Jason, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure,
you.
and for all those listening, thank you for listening.
Yes, we will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Have a good evening, everybody.